In a world that glorifies speed and hustle, we often forget that good things take time. In this video, I want to talk about the importance of slowing down and following your intuition so you can make the decisions that best fit you while also progressing in your goals or on your goals. So recently I've been going through a big shift in my approach to my business and my productivity overall. I've been slowing down, and it has actually led to a much greater, I guess you could say, efficiency, and I believe also quality, and more importantly also fulfillment. So I think recently, for example, I've been not consuming as much content as before, and if anything, the content I consume has shifted. Now I'm learning to take a much longer term approach. So, for example, when it comes to my business, I am very happy with the views that I get, but I also am slowing down in the sense that I do want to create great videos. And for example, like even I used to want to post on the daily, but now I'm making sure to really get my thoughts together a little bit more so that I can post more quality videos. So although I do find myself, I still, for example, might shoot like 3 or 4 videos a day. It won't be happening on a daily basis. It's just me not having that pressure of needing to post on a daily. Now, doing this has allowed me to understand exactly what I've been doing, because often a lot of people don't understand what it is they're doing or what it is they're building. They just have a goal that they're striving towards. And this is a big thing that I see in just the productivity space overall, which is we have this external goal, hit 100,000 subscribers or make $10,000 a month. And those goals are very linear, I would say. They're very also limited, because the only way to know whether you're progressing or not, I mean, you could say that it to me it feels very binary. Like, do I have 10k, or am I making 10k, or no, I'm not. So then I'm not there. And what I've recently realized is that I would prefer to have intrinsic motivation rather than extrinsic motivation. So I would rather be able to feel like I'm progressing, like allow myself to see my wins, to count my wins on my own. That I would rather do that than want to strive for an external goal, especially if it's a goal that a lot of people in the outside world say is a worthy goal. Like if it's not my goal that resonates with me internally, I don't want it. And so that has allowed me to kind of drift away from the regular space of consumption and really get to a place of peace and clarity. So, and it also, what I've realized, another benefit that comes from slowing down is that it allows you to actually see things for what they are. And this is a thing that is very difficult to kind of understand when you're really in there. But when you're really about succeeding, you are so caught up in how you're not there. Like that's the concept that you just have in mind. Like, okay, I'm building towards this. I'm making progress, but I'm still not there yet. I gotta keep pushing. I gotta keep pushing. I gotta keep pushing. And that's the mindset that I was on for a long time. But once I was like, okay, slow down. Stop looking at the extrinsic motivation. Look at intrinsically. How are you feeling? Where are you now compared to like 5 years ago? Are you happy? Is this your dream? Is this what you truly want? Is this what truly resonates with you? When I kind of slowed down to think about that, then that stopped me from getting to this place of comparison of I'm not there yet, and it tuned me into something else, which was showing me where am I at truly. It's like not a question of am I there yet. It's more so a question of where am I, and in asking yourself where you are, that gives you the ability to make a much more grounded assessment of your progress. And if you have the right also approach, the positive approach, and also just the approach of a creator, you will be able to create from your circumstance. So this also might tie into a different video that I'm thinking about, but you have to have the vision that transcends or that sees the best of things. So like you see something and you see its potential, but you have to also be able to see it growing into its potential. If you cannot recognize or acknowledge its growth, you will forever be tied to saying that it's not happening. It's not happening. So, for example, me in my daily life, like I'm getting like new members to my community every month. 4 to 5 members, 4 to 5 people joining my community every month, and that has never happened before in my life. And something that I am constantly thinking about is, whoa, this is happening. Like people are coming in and I'm getting results, and it's really happening. And here's my community. So in my about page, like I got my about page. It's happening. Like this is something that I was working on. I have my
So you might be asking yourself,
I have my introduction to the community, which is great. I'm really building the community out. My introduction is also building itself out. Like I'm able to present to people the values, something that truly resonates with me.
to do is
Like
the first thing we
and not
actually-
only that, I have members. Like I have people in the community that are joining. Shout out to Octavio, big win. Like we got a new milestone. We had 4 people in one call all at the same time. Like this is the dream is manifesting itself, but I think that most of the time people don't know how to see that, how to find that. People are not trained to see the potential develop itself. Are not trained to see the manifestations as they are coming. So is this delusion or just positivity? And what I find is that no, it is not delusion. It could be delusion if you allow yourself to kind of like um get too extended and be like, well, this could lead to then, me getting more members, and then, which is great and that serves its purpose. But your ability to let that go and just be present and feel into the moment, that is going to be your barometer to how, how tuned in you are to your progression. So slowing down has taught me to really count my blessings and really be able to see the progress as it's happening in real time. And the next thing that slowing down has helped me out with has been letting the universe guide me. So now I'm operating more off intuition. And so when I slow down, I allow myself to just do the things that I feel like doing that resonate with me. And so synchronicity aligns itself to present me the right opportunities. For example, like me starting this YouTube channel on just authentic, no editing, that was a message from my intuition. But then soon enough, I got an inclination from my intuition to look into animation and also look into coding. And so now I'm a part of a coding community where, well, it's not really coding, it's a no code community, but I'm learning how to create systems, and I'm learning how to automate my my transcription. So like I'm trying to create a robust system now where I can put out content, but I can also go back to that content and create maybe like a blog post out of it, or maybe I can send that content to an editor and he can create some snippets of that I can post on Reels. So like I'm developing my system. Um and that excites me a lot. And then another example I think I mentioned already was animation. So now I'm looking to get dipping my toes back into animation, and that has allowed me to just kind of like now be able to have that passion, but also have that clarity, which I'm like, okay, I see it happening. Like I can have my Lucid Vlogs channel and it's growing, and I can have my community, but that also means that I can still be growing and learning new skills. So like no code, like creating animations and also learning how to animate. So the universe is guiding me towards the things that are most um passion driven. If I just stayed to what worked, and if I just stuck to what was working, I don't think I would allow myself to create the right opportunities for more blessings to come into my life. Another example is I have my one of my ex managers. He was coaching me on how to serve, and we were kind of doing like an exchange of I would coach him on social media. He got fired from where I was working. Now he's moving on to another restaurant. He's now a GM, and we've been having conversations. And one day in the morning when I was gonna go talk to him, at first I was like, you know what, I'm too stressed out. I need to grind. I need to just, I just need to cut this off, like, cause it's just free. Like I'm coaching him for free. Um, and like that was my initial thought, and that's the thought that anybody who is really focused and really disciplined would think. You just need to focus on what you're doing and ignore everything else and just grind. But I woke up that morning. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna talk to him with where I'm at. I'm gonna tell him, what's going on in my life, what I'm looking for, some of the things that I'm struggling with, because I still haven't been promoted to being a server at my job, and we'll see what happens. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but if I truly believe that if we have this conversation, something positive can arrive, or at the very least, we left, and we left understanding exactly where we were at, and there was no hurt feelings. So then I end up talking to him, and then it just comes out of me where I ask him whether he has any job openings, and he mentioned that he's gonna have one most likely in September, mid-September or October, which is perfect because if I were to be serving there at his restaurant, I'd be making way more money than I'll be making in the current job that I'm working. And he also mentioned that there'll be ample opportunity for us to collaborate and create more content together, or for me to keep coaching him on things, or for me to talk to even the owner and, come up with ideas with him. And then it's also a great opportunity for me to grow as a server, or as somebody in the hospitality business. And so bam, like just like that, the universe, I woke up, I got the message, just talk to him, and I did, and then bam, a whole new window of opportunity has happened. Because had I not had that conversation, I would have stuck to where I'm at right now, just grinding, working at my job at Seneca, and then I would have just, waited to see when they would promote me there, because they're low staffed. And I've kind of already kind of let that go. Like, I've given up on that desire. But now there's like a light at the end of the tunnel, so I can continue to work where I'm at, knowing that in the future there's going to be an opportunity. He's going to hit me up, and then I'll be able to use more of my skills there. So now my life is becoming much more integrated. So now it's not just like, at the end of the day, it's not just about me becoming this one success story. I'm seeing that the universe is asking me to slow down, because if I can slow down and I can see what are the next steps, and then I could take action on the one that will be the one that connects everything more fully. And so then as I stretch out, the universe connects me, and so it leads to these like synchronicities, and then I'm able to expand again. So the growth is it's a process of expansion and condensation, or in contraction. So expansion would be sort of like the ideas, the inspiration, the grind, the energy, while compression or contraction would be the focusing and kind of like the bringing together, the connecting, the slowing down. And so that expansion is a rush, while the slowing down allows to connect and reflect and continue to observe the right opportunities. And so you're in there, that allows for your intuition to come in, So your intuition is the driving force behind both of these, because when your intuition can bring you inspiration, and your intuition can also bring you messages to slow down. So it's not about me becoming a success story. It's about me letting the universe guide me to where I am best suited to be. And that is more important than any personal desire that I have of making X amount of money or becoming this specific person. At this point, I'm just a mechanism or a vehicle for the universe to create a better world. And so that has allowed me to really just not be so judgmental about where I'm at, not be comparing myself all the time, and and just have more fun, because now I'm doing, like, the pressure is off. I don't have to be grinding all the time. Like, I can take a chill. And the next one I want to talk about is something much more, I guess you could say, grounded. But the important, it's like about building the right infrastructure. So that's the word that keeps coming in, like from my higher self. Build the right infrastructure. It's about infrastructure. So, if I want to build this huge community, I want to build this huge business, this very successful business. I realize that, if I'm going to be getting to the top and I'm getting millions of views as this big YouTuber, I want to be able to have the people that view me to get the most out of me. So that would mean having systems in place where it's not just the video that they can watch. Because in truth, I just want to transform this world. So it won't just be that they watch the video and it changes their life. That could happen, but I'm building a relationship. I'm building relationships with people. I'm creating places for transformation. So that means putting things in the back end where people have the opportunity to connect with me more and also transform at a deeper level. So that means having to slow down. That means, like, because I don't have the money to pay for a team, I have to learn the skills myself. And if anything, that's better, because if I learn the skills, I can understand exactly what's going on and what is really needed. So it leads to this slow building of infrastructure, of, like, building a house takes time. Having a child takes time. And this is what I'm seeing. I'm just understanding that more day by day, because it's important to have a solid foundation. And I could tell, and a good example where I have failed would be where, in the situation that I had with the Salceros podcast. It was my social dancing podcast, and basically we were on the rise. We had like almost 2K followers on Instagram, and we were doing great. But the thing was that the majority of the work was coming from me. I was the one that came up with the idea. I have the background in social media. um I'm the one that basically made it happen. So, you know long story short, I got tired of it, and I decided that I don't want to be a part of the Salceros anymore. And here I'm going to show an image of the account so you guys can see. So here we post videos. Like, we got social dancing videos. We were about to hit 2,000 followers. Lots of people loved what we were doing. But the thing was that I was the one that had the most knowledge on social media, about social media. I was the one that came up with the idea. I was the one that came up with the name. I was the one booking the artists. And not to talk too much, to create too much drama. But the case is that basically I got tired of it. And the thing is that we didn't have a solid infrastructure. We didn't have a solid foundation. We were friends. I made the podcast with my two friends during the time, and there was no contract, there was no agreement. We didn't decide on roles. I didn't make it clear that I was the director, that I was the one that was going to be running things, and that they were going to be learning from me, and it was going to be a collaborative effort. And so now, I'm dealing with things and trying to figure out what can be done. But worst case scenario, it just ends there. And it's sad to see, but at the end of the day, I realized that, like, um maybe I was caught up in the inspiration, maybe I was caught up in the grind, where I didn't realize that what Salceros really needed was a strong foundation. And if I had made that a priority before posting more videos or asking more artists, then I would have made sure to put that in the agreement, and I would have made become the director, and I would have been the one who really called the shots in the way that, I mean, I was already doing. But then it would be official, and there would have been an agreement, and then we could have made better decisions. But it's not about reminiscing. It is to prove a point that when you don't have the right infrastructure, things can go down pretty quickly, and they can end pretty badly. And Salceros was a dream, and it still is a dream. It might not be Salceros now, it might be something else. I created my YouTube channel, Lucid Dancing. But it was a high rise. We had a lot of buzz around what we were doing. But that doesn't matter if you don't have the right infrastructure. So you can be succeeding, you can be getting those wins and growing really fast. But if you don't have the right infrastructure, things will crumble. So when it comes to pertains to you and your journey, you want to be great. You want to make big things happen. You have a big vision. But the thing is that slow down. You gotta think about what kind of foundation do you need to do that. And most of the time it's gonna be internal. Like maybe it's just some skills that you need to learn. Maybe it's some psychological skills that you need to learn, emotional intelligence, self-esteem, confidence. So it's about, and the good thing is that I already have those things, but now it's more so external skills where I have to really be on top of what's going on around me, what's new, what's trending, and also kind of like what's the new technologies that's developing that's going to allow me to do more with less work. And and so I've positioned myself in a place where it's more about the infrastructure now than it is about the results, than it is about the goals, because I would prefer, like I said, if I want this high, really popular channel, what I want is for my viewers to be able to get the most out of it. So it's about depth at this point. So when people come in contact with the video, how deep can they go when it comes to transformation? And I know, seeing myself in the past, I was a YouTuber. I was trying to grow quick. I was trying to grow fast. And I know now that if I had done that, then I would have just failed. Like later on, I would have either been depressed or I would have um, gotten lost. I would have made some mistakes because I see other people who have this quick success, but it takes a toll on their mental health. Like they don't know how to interpret it because they don't have the solid psychological foundation that really gives them an understanding of what they're doing, and really creates boundaries also around what they're doing. So it's important to really have this desire to create infrastructure, to create a foundation. And how that looks like is going to depend on you. But at the end of the day, if you can have all the internal resources that you need, if you can believe in what you're doing without needing the validation of the outside world, then that's a really good place to be at, because then you can really slow down, really think about what you really need, what really needs to happen. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. So that's an important point that I want to discuss. And then finally, I want to talk about gratitude and reflection. So slowing down, like I said, I might kind of mentioned this earlier, but slowing down has allowed me to reflect on my wins and really be grateful for where I'm at. It has allowed me to be more present and take in the things as they come, and really see things at face value. So slowing down has now, I'm not in a rush anymore, and so it allows me to connect with my wife, connect with my child, really see things for, really live in this moment where I'm at, because I'm 25 years old. It's my birthday today, and and I see that I've come so far from like 5 years ago. And I made mistakes. I've been figuring things out, but I think now I have more clarity now than I have ever had before in my life, and that is way more important than any of the money in the world. And that's something that I really think about. The clarity that I have now is way more important than any money in the world that I can get, because it's like it's all about you becoming the highest version of yourself, becoming the most powerful version of yourself. Because when you're able to really uh, max out on those internal skills, that development, you're able to raise the frequency of other things much more easily. So like, if I get $1 million, but I give it to somebody who's addicted, where is that $1 million going to go to? It's going to be going to the addiction. But if I give $1 million to somebody who's on purpose and who is operating from the heart chakra, then with that $1 million is going to turn into service. It's going to turn into places for transformation. It's going to turn into more love. So I guess you could say you become what you know. People say it's like you are what you eat, but um, at one point it becomes like what you eat becomes what you are. That's the other side of it, right? Like what I'm consuming will then will become what I am. So that means like if money comes to me, how am I going to paint that money? How am I going to characterize that money? How will I, expand that money? So, you can think about it very simply in terms of investments. Like, can you invest in yourself? Like, are you a good asset? Are you a good business? Are you a good product? And if you're not there yet, well, are you at least honest with yourself, and are you working to get there? And and um and that's really the way that I think about it, because if you can think about it that way, then it really puts you in a place of reflection, and it really puts you also, if you can get to a place of gratitude, it also allows you to see the strengths of what you have right now. It allows you to be grateful, and it allows you to bring something forward that is meaningful. So those are those are my different takes on why it's important for you to slow down. Um, like I said, you want to be great, but you have to know that it will take time. You have to be willing and it's not even about sacrifice. It's just about knowing where you're at. Can you be honest with yourself, and can you really um can you like be grateful before you're even there? Can you live in the present moment? Can you move from the place of success instead of moving towards success? And what does it mean to move from a place of success? It means to embody it, to become it. And that means, like, when you're successful, what are you? You're grateful. You're on top of things. You're efficient. You're in no rush. You know things are coming. You know good things are coming. When like you just when you are embodying success, you just become this person that's able to sit and receive. And I think that's the biggest thing. I think it's like when you know that things take time, but you like really appreciate the fact that good things take time. If you can do that, then the whole process that it takes becomes something that you really enjoy, because you delight in the fact that it's happening right before your eyes, and that's a beautiful thing. I think, like, it's a beautiful thing to see your dreams manifest as the days go by. And I can't imagine to think, you know, maybe tomorrow I wake up and I get 1 million views, and it's like, and it changes like that. Or I get $1 million and it changes like that. Like, what about, I feel like, I ask myself, but what about right now? Am I able to count the views? Am I able to be grateful for these views that are coming in? And I think that's the true question, because if I can't do that now, then what would it mean for me to do it when I do get those millions of views? Like, does it have to be then that I get to be happy, or can I just be happy now? And that is, I think, what true fulfillment looks like. That is what true success looks like. And I think that's what it means to be great, really. So that is it for the video. I hope that you found this helpful. Um, yeah, I hope you found this helpful. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. All right, stay lucid.